Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video, we're going to be continuing our series on Is This Spirit for You? In this video, we'll be focusing on vital strength of the earth. Looking at the setup, we're going to put 3 presents on our starting board, 2 in the highest number mountain, and 1 in the highest number jungle. Earth's playstyle is powerful but slow, has potent power cards and excellent energy income, but starts with only one card play per turn, and growth is limited to adding 1 presence per turn. Looking at the complexity, it's a low complex spirit. It is low offense, a little bit of control, low fear, high defense, and I guess low utility. I think looking at this, at the summary of powers here, I think the fear is probably a lot lower. Control, I guess this is probably accurate. I guess utility is factoring in that special rule, or not the special rule, the innate. Looking at the special rule here, we have Earth's Vitality, we have Defend 3 in every land where you have Sacred Sites. Now, this special rule tends to be not very good into high difficulty, but into low difficulty, it's extremely powerful. And that's mainly because Defend 3 tends to line up very well with the invaders. And once you get to like level 5, level 6, that's around difficulty 8 to 10. That's when the invaders tend to have too many actions, and this Defend 3 just tends to be useless because it's amazing once invaders are below the 3 defense, but as soon as they exceed 3, it's completely it doesn't have any effect. Looking at our growth options, we are a 1-1-1. That means we're always placing presence on any growth option. We have a reclaim, power card gain, and an energy gain. One of the things that I don't like about Earth is our G2, and that's because we're gaining power cards, which is something you really need to do on the spirit, but then you have to create a sacred site because you can't place presence outward, and it makes gaining cards on this spirit very awkward. Looking at the tracks, we end at 8-4, and that's going to take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 turns to reach our maximum potential. Looking at our innate gift of strength, the first threshold says once this turn, target spirit may repeat 1 power card with energy cost 1 or less. We have the second threshold, it increases the cost to 3 or less, and the final threshold increases the energy cost to 6 or less. This first tier allows you to repeat very powerful support cards, and these bottom 2 tiers, you're going to want to focus on repeating those powerful major powers. Looking at our power cards, we have a Year of Perfect Stillness. It's a 3 energy cost, Sun, Earth, and it's an Invader skip card. We have Guard the Healing Land. It's a 3 energy fast. Water, Earth, Plant, fast power from a sacred site. Remove a blight, defend 4. We have Rituals of Destruction. It's a 3 energy slow. Sun, Moon, Fire, Earth, Plant. Sacred site targeting a land with Dahan. Do 2 damage. The land has at least 3 Dahan, 3 damage, plus 3 damage, and 2 fear. And finally, Draw of the Fruitful Earth. It's a 1 energy slow, Earth, Plant, Animal. 1 range, gather 2 Explorers and 2 Dahan. Now, one of the big problems with base Earth is these cards just cost so much energy. And yes, you're getting a lot of energy, but these cards just are so overcosted. Like, it's okay for a spirit to have high cost cards if the effect is worth that high cost. And in a way, you might be able to argue Stillness is worth this 3 energy because it's the skip all, but it doesn't actually progress the game. Guard the Healing Land. This is dramatically overcosted. We see cards that are defend 6 that cost far less than this. Rituals of Destruction. It's 3 energy for 2 damage, and then maybe you'll be able to get more damage if you set up Dawn properly. For the price of 3 energy, this is just a terrible card. The biggest benefit is it hits all of your innates. Well, it hits your innate. It's a perfect element card. The one card that you have that's reasonably costed is Draw from the Fruitful Earth. And it's honestly a great card. It's 1 energy, it has that Earth plant that you end up leaning more into than Sun. And it allows you to gather Explorers and Dawn to kind of set up your defense and then disrupt builds. Now looking, is this spirit for you? Earth is a heavily defensive spirit. You're going to be stalling the game out. Games are going to go long. And then you're going to get a couple drafts in the mid-end game to kind of destroy the invaders with those majors, and then hopefully you can repeat those majors. If you want to play proactive, if you want to be generating fear, if you want to be disrupting the invaders, this is not a spirit for you. This is a spirit that just generates, well, it has a lot of defense, a little bit of utility, and that's it. It's all stalling. And I don't like base Earth. I think this is one of the weakest spirits in the game. In addition, I find it to be very boring, and I love defensive spirits. Like as I mentioned, I love roots, I love many mines, I love stone, I love green. Earth is just a different type of boring. I even love starlight, which is also very defensive. Um, Earth is just it takes defense, and it just you have so few tools that I'm always just disappointed whenever I play games. Now we have two aspects from the Jagged Earth expansion. We have resilience and Mite Earth. Resilience is going to replace our special rule, and it's going to say in lands with sacred sites, it takes 8 additional damage to add blight, but that doesn't that extra additional damage, or I guess additional defense, doesn't protect Dahan. So what you're doing here is you're trading 5 points of defend for the ability to so you either have a defend 3 that allows Dahan to counterattack, or you have essentially like a defend 10, but Dahan don't counterattack. It plays very similar to base Earth. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say outside. I really dislike resilience. Okay, now we have Mite Earth. This is the aspect that I love whenever I play Earth. Pretty much only Mite Earth games. Um, it's going to get rid of that special rule, and it will give you another innate. And that innate says you may play an additional power card by paying 1 energy plus its cost. You then get a total of +2 damage. And finally, you have a way to gain power cards. I think Mite Earth fixes a lot of problems that base Earth has. It allows you to generate more card plays, increases the damage of those majors that you draft, and then it gives you another way to gain cards outside of that G2. And looking at the summary of powers, it would likely decrease defense and significantly increase your offense, and I guess your utility. Whenever I play my Earth, I love comboing this with a spirit that can play a power boon, because Might Earth opens up a really cool opening where you can actually start the game with rituals and draw of the fruitful earth, which allows you to hit your first tier of your gift of strength innate, which means if you're playing with the starlight, this is like my favorite combo in the game. You're playing with the starlight and they're playing Boon of Reimagining turn 1. You can actually repeat Boon of Reimagining with your gift of strength power. You can forget one of your bad clunky cards, and then you can draft a bunch of minors, 2 minors, and then you can kind of play Earth, but with minors instead of these really clunky, awkward uniques. Essentially, you're redrafting your hand, and it makes the game so much fun. And like I said, it's one of my favorite aspects to play. Okay, let's look at the new aspect from the Nature Incarnate expansion. It's called Nourishing, and it's going to replace a year. Where is it? It's going to replace a year of perfect stillness with voracious growth. That's and it's also going to replace Earth's vitality as well. It's going to give us another innate. A fast power, sacred site targeting a land without blight. It allows you to gather a Dahan, adds a vitality, and then for each Dahan, or so each Dahan in that land has 2 + 2 health. And then if the land has at least 2 Dahan, you get to add an extra Dahan. Lastly, it says after you gain a major power, gain a minor power. That allows this G2 to gain you 2 power cards. And it's not just limited to your growth. If other spirits give you power card gains, and if you choose majors, that means you gain a free minor. Um, I can't talk about the power level about Nourishing, but this is a very fun aspect to play. I mean, I absolutely love playing this aspect. It doubles down on the defense. It gives you a Dahan counterattack game. It makes your G2 far less clunky. Um, I mean, if I had to complain about this, it's just you never have an incentive to ever gain a minor power again because the minor power is free. So in a way, this is like literally like a strict buff compared to base Earth. But I mean, it opens up so many different areas of play for the spirit. It also lets you create Dahan. Like adding Dahan is such a really cool mechanic, and you get to play with another new token. So if looking at the other side of the spirit board, nourishing, it probably keeps the defense about the same. It probably increases the offense a little bit, also increases the utility a little bit as well. And that's because utility, you're adding that Dahan and vitality, and then offense, you'll have more opportunities of counter attacking because you're always moving Dahan. If you like this video, like, subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video.